What's going on, Jerome's? So it's not so long ago, everyone was champing at the bit to have Rick Spielman fired, but he was the GM of the Vikings for the better part of a decade and a half, and Rick's had some hits, he had some misses, and everything in between. But I think overall he did punch above his weight. I think that his batting average was better than most general managers, but it's time for a change, and Kwesi is all up in there now, and hopefully Kwesi starts hitting on some draft picks, man. That's all. A draft pick the Vikings could hit on is USC quarterback Caleb Williams. Who, I mean, the Vikings may not have to tank for Caleb Williams because he's kind of tanking his draft stock himself. I mean, if he has a couple more games like he did against USC, except, well, his offensive line can't protect and his receivers drop the ball, so he should be right at home here with the Vikings. But Rick Spielman offered some thoughts. Rick's doing some great work with CBS Sports as well as the 33rd team. Vikings fan page cobbled this together. Former Vikings GM Rick Spielman believes current USC quarterback Caleb Williams would start over Kirk Cousins if the highly regarded prospect was in the NFL right now. Spielman said he would prefer Williams on a rookie deal over every quarterback in the league besides Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. Now, that's high praise. And also, why did they just throw Josh Allen in there? I mean, random. I mean, I understand Joe Burrow has struggled a little bit this year with injury, but I would prefer Joe Burrow over Josh Allen. I feel like Josh Allen has this innate ability to be as good or as ass as the team that he's playing against. That's all, man. But I understand the Holmes thing. And the whole Caleb Williams hype, it is absolutely legit. And the Vikings probably aren't going to be bad enough to be drafted up in the stratosphere. Maybe they could make a move. Maybe they could do anything like that. Maybe Williams isn't even the first quarterback taken. It's a non-zero chance, especially the way that Drake May seems to be rising. Same thing with Penix, etc. But Spielman, of course, we remember Spielman, and Spielman has had his thoughts on quarterbacks. I mean, 2022 was the first draft class that he's been involved in since he hasn't been the Vikings GM, and he had them ranked as Bryce Young 1, CJ Stroud 2, Levis at 3, with Richardson waiting on his pro day, and obviously he loved Anthony Richardson, so he did have Richardson, I believe, on about the same plane as Stroud and Bryce Young, and obviously he was out on Will Levis. All right, so he had issues there. But, I mean, Spielman has track record with quarterbacks is sort of, I don't know, man. I don't know. So his draft picks were Christian Ponder, number 12 in 2011, Teddy Bridgewater, number 32 in 2014, and of course Kirk. He was architect of the Kirk Cousins 3-year, $84 million fully guaranteed deal, as well as one of Kirk Cousins' extensions. The 2-year, $66 million one. So, I mean, Spielman, he's never really had the opportunity to take a quarterback high. And during his time here with the Vikings, he inherited T-Jack from the 2006 draft. Rest in power, T-Jack, from Brad Childress when he came in. 2007 was his first real draft here with the Vikings, and I don't know, like. Spielman's decision-making at quarterback is one of the reasons why he finds himself out of the job, although Cousins has been, frankly, outperforming his contract and looking pretty damn good, probably the second or third best quarterback in franchise history. But I don't know. Like, it always just goes back to Rick, man, where Ponder obviously was a miss, and the Vikings panicked in 2011, also signing Donovan McNabb in 2014. I mean, hell, Teddy could have panned out, except his leg fell off. And that's really unfortunate, and obviously you couldn't have prepared for that, even though the scouting report said that Teddy had skinny knees. I don't know, man. I don't know. Something I also don't know is, so rumor put out there by Pro Football Talk is that Caleb Williams is looking for partial ownership in whatever team that lands him, which it seems like it's the start of BS draft season, because that seems ridiculous. A guy that's never played it down in the NFL, I mean, also has a non-zero chance of busting, even though he's seen as a generational talent. He wants like 1% of the team. I don't know. Again, it sounds like something that would be put out there to get Caleb Williams to fall. So that's what I feel what's going on right now. But, I mean, this quarterback class has a chance to be historic. I mean, Williams up there at 1. Drake May up there as well. And like I said, there's a non-zero chance that Drake May goes ahead of Caleb Williams. I think that Drake May, given his size, 6'4", 220, given his arm, which is slightly better than Williams. I mean, Williams is Houdini. Williams is Mahomes. But Williams, against pressure, it's sort of whatever. And Drake May is having himself a hell of a campaign. So I I wouldn't wager on it, but also it wouldn't surprise me if at the end of the day, after draft season, after the combine and pro days, Drake May ends up going number 1. But it is good to see that Prede Ricky is all in on Caleb Williams, which it's high praise. I mean, also Rick Spielman has never had the opportunity to draft a quarterback up there at 1, so we'll see what happens. I mean, is this still possible? I mean, is this a spot where Caleb Williams definitely wants to end up with the Vikings? Because I mean, the Vikings have 2 great tackles. The Vikings have Justin freaking Jefferson, wide receiver 1. The Vikings have Hockenson, who, if he gets his head out of his ass, he's a top 3 tight end. They have Addison, his former college teammate. So, I mean, let's go. Let's go. Hey, Caleb. Pull an Eli Manning and be like, I am not going to play for anyone except for the Vikings, and then let Kwesi swap in there and then trade up. Let's do it. Let's do it, man. But your thoughts are thoughts. Former Vikings GM Ricky Spielman is all in on Caleb Williams. Oh, Rick Spielman likes the consensus #1 overall pick. Great. Awesome. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.